Hi everybody, welcome back to DayZ, and in this tutorial video I'm going to show you how you can spawn in animals in custom locations. So we're going to do an example of spawning in some cows, a little herd here. We're down by the dam on Chernarus, and we're also going to look at spawning in a bear. So let's jump in the map. Let's go to where my custom bear is at Green Mountain. Here we go. He's up here, isn't he? So let's hopefully if we spawn in here there will be a bear hanging around. Oh, there he is. Hello, Mr. Ooh, where's he going? There he is. Hello, Mr. Bear. Oh dear. So the idea, let's exit out of here before he eats us. So the idea of this is, say you wanted to have a farm that was good to go, where you had cows or sheep or something that was spawning always there, or maybe you wanted to have somewhere you wanted to make it a little bit dangerous, so you wanted to have a bear spawning there. So you know they're good gameplay reasons for having custom things. Now I'm going to be showing you the files in Notepad++, and I recommend what you do is when I suggest a file and I give you a file name, download that from your server, make a backup, and then do the edits locally, and then re-upload them, and then obviously you can do your testing. Or if you've got a local server on your PC, you can test it on that. And this works fine for console and PC. That's what's really cool about it. And what we're going to do is, as we're going through as well, is we're going to be looking at how DayZ server kind of talks to itself with the files, because there's some quite interesting things you'll probably learn if you didn't know them already about how these things work. Okay, so let's start off with the cow. So what I recommend you do is download your events.xml file. That'll be inside the DB directory in your missions folder, and make a backup and then open it up in your favorite text editor. I like Vanilla++. And we need to make an event for it. As you can see, I've already done it here. The easiest way to do it is to take the existing event and just copy it and then just paste it, so you end up with a duplicate, and then give it a new name. So, and naming is very important when it comes to events, because we need to keep the prefix, animal, because that tells the game, tells the server how it should treat this event, because it treats events differently, like zombie events and vehicle events, and this is an animal event. So the actual name of the event in this case is actually called Cow Robs. That's the name of the event, but we put animal in front of it as well. If you don't put that animal in front, they won't work properly. Don't worry about the nominal, the min and the max and stuff like that. That's fine. So just create a new event and call it animal cow your name, or 1 or 2 or something like that. So we create our event first. Now the next thing we need to do is to create where this is going to spawn in. Now with animals, they don't spawn in using cfgeventsponws.xml, they spawn in with their own territory. So what I recommend you do is download, in this case it would be the cattle's territories.xml. So this is within the env folder in your mission directory, and you'll end up with something like this. And all we want is, we just want the top bit like that. So we want sort of the opening statement, the opening tag, and then the first line. So we just copy that and paste it into a new file. And then we want the closing territory type, and copy and paste that below it. So you'll end up with something like this. So it's basically a mini version of, in this case, cattle territories. Now the coordinates, your X and your Z, you're going to get from I Survive. So just go around and find somewhere where you want to spawn it. Try not to make it too busy with lots of buildings and things like that. But wherever they are, if you just put your cursor anywhere and type Control-C on your keyboard, that will then copy that, and you can copy and paste it outside of the actual line, and then paste in the relevant X and Z. R is the radius within which the animals will spawn. I think is what that relates to. So keep that vanilla, it doesn't matter. And then what you could do is you have these starting elements. So grey, so you can have graze, water, or rest. And I think that relates to when the animal spawns in, what should its behavior be to start off with, and then they'll start wandering around and doing what they do. Now we need to save this. So you go File, Save As, and as you can see, the format I've used is animal cow robs underscore territories. Now the important thing is the underscore territories at the end, so the game knows that this is a territories file. And for ease of kind of linking everything up, I've given it the same name as the event, animal cows dash robs and then underscore. I'm not going to save it again, but so that is now saved. So now what we need to do now is we also need to now go into our cfgevenvironment.xml. So this is in the root directory of your missions folder. Download that, make a backup, open it into your local text editor. And there's two things we need to do. We need to give the game the file path for this territory. So the best thing to do is just to copy, for example, the bear territory, paste it in, and then we need to just paste in the animal cow dash robs underscore territories.xml. So the name of the file that we just saved with the coordinates where we want our animal to spawn in. Make sure you have the .xml and make sure you have the env / because that's the actual address of it, and that tells the server that you can use this file. The next thing we need to do is below it we have all this text here, this code here, and this is telling the game what behavior should this animal have when it spawns in, depending on the event name. And which files should it use to work out where it should be. All right. So what you want to do in the case of the cattle, for example, you would just copy from the opening territory to the closing territory tag. So copy all of that stuff and then paste it up above somewhere. Now this is where we see some clever stuff here. So the territory type is a herd. So it's a herd of animals. And look at the name. So the name we use is actually bear robs. So remember when we were looking at the event, sorry, the name isn't bear robs, it's cow robs. We're looking at this one here. I do apologize. So the name is cow robs. There we go. So remember if we go back to the events and we were talking about the prefix of the animal event has to have animal. Well, for the purposes of the cfgevenvironment.xml, it ignores that animal bit because it knows it's dealing with an animal event, and we just have the cow robs bit, or whatever your name is at the end. And then the behavior is DayZ domestic group BEH, which is the there we go, it's the cow behavior. And then the file usable is the animal cow, in this case robs underscore territory, so it would be whatever you would be. But you notice we don't need to include the env / and we don't need to include the .xml either. They don't need to be there. And so you end up with that there. Now the final thing we need to do is in cfgeventsponws, we don't need to put any coordinates, but we do need to add the name of the event. So at the bottom, if you scroll down, you'll see all the zombie and the animal events. Just copy animals, bear for example, and then change the event name to the whole of the event name, including the prefix. So event name equals animal cow robs. Save everything, upload it to your server, restart, and you should find those things spawning in okay. Now let's have a look at the bear next. So with the bear, again, what I recommend you do is just get the vanilla event for the bear. If I got it here somewhere, it'll be down here somewhere. And bear. So copy the vanilla one, then paste it in. I've pasted mine in near the top, and then just change the name. So again, we're keeping the animal at the front because we need to have that there. We're keeping bear, and I'm just putting dash robs. And in fact, I'm keeping everything else as well, the min, the max, lifetime. We're not changing anything else at all. So that's that bit. So the next thing we need is a territory for the bear. So again, you can open up the bear's territory file. Yours will look something like this. But all we need is we want, if we go to my one, you just need the top statement, the XML statement, territory type, territory color, the first sort of territory bit, and the closing territory tag there. So it would be, in this case, it would be something like, it would be that bit. We would copy that bit there. We would copy that bit there. We would copy that bit there. And then we would go down and we would copy that bit there. And that would then give us this. So we've got a territory file for the animal bear robs that's only got one coordinate in, and again you get the coordinates within iSurvive and just Control-C somewhere, and then copy and paste those coordinates into the particular file. Then we need to save it. So again, file, save as. And you notice again, for ease of sake, I've called it after the event, so it's animal bear -robs _ territories. Again, I think the _ territories is important, and it would be .xml after that, so it saves it as an XML file. So once we've done that, we can now go back to our cfgevenvironment.xml. Again, this is in the root directory of your missions folder. And what we need to do is we need to create that first sort of file that tells the game which file it uses to look at the territories. So again, we could just copy the normal file nv = bear territories, copy that, paste that in, and then what we do is we paste in the name of our file. So in my case, it was animal bear robs territories.xml. Remember to keep the .xml. Remember to have the env / at the front as well. Then we scroll down, and the behavior section, again, you could copy the bear bit, and I've put mine up here. And then what we do is we then change the bit, so we keep it's a herd. Now the name, and again, this is where it gets quite clever, the name is bear-robs or bear- whatever yours is, because it knows it's an animal event because it's here. So that goes there. The behavior is bliss bear group BEH, which is from down here. And then the file that it should use is the one we've got up here, the animal bear _ robs territories.xml, but without the .xml and without the env / on the front of it either. Once you've done that and you've saved that, we now need to go to the cfgeventsponws. Again, we're not putting any coordinates in, but we want to copy animal wolf, and we just, or whatever we want to do is, and we just want to have an event name. Event name equals animal bear robs, and we just save that, and then we make sure all the files are saved. If you want to, you can validate them through an XML validator online. I always recommend you do that. Upload them to your server, restart your server, and then with a bit of luck and a following wind, you will then have those animals spawning in those custom locations, and they don't affect the spawning of the other animals either. So just the fact that because you've got a bear at Green Mountain, or a bear wherever you want, or some cows in a particular place, all the normal vanilla ones will spawn in as well. Okay, so there we go. Hopefully this has been useful. And if you've enjoyed it, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. If you've got any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section down below. And of course, I'll see you again soon.